Warning, this podcast contains Star Wars. Nothing but Star Wars. Every day. Nothing but Star Wars every day. You've never heard that song? That's Star Wars with lyrics. It was on what, Saturday Night Live a long time ago or something?
Oh,
right? When they added lyrics to the Star Wars theme?
I'm sorry. Hi everyone, I'm Clio. You threw me off.
She's that
Hi,
bad
It was Bill Murray. It was Bill Murray that sang it.
Tomorrow. Season 2, Episode 9, Raiders of the Lost Art. I'm your host, Clio. With me I have Rachel, Nikki, and Dom somewhere around.
We're here.
Bill Murray was the one that sang it.
Who is?
Bill Murray.
Bill Murray.
Of course he is. Of course he is.
How have you never heard this?
I've never heard that.
I've never heard it either, so...
This episode of Legends was so good.
It was
I really
fantastic.
like this episode.
This is probably my favorite episode of Legends ever.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Because we finally get to see a world in which the Star Wars prequels don't exist.
Oh God. None of the other ones exist. I had to stop the show and just like take a breather. I was like, no. I don't want to live in a world like
a little?
I don't want to live in a world like that.
What, real estate?
No,
Something like mega lame. Something
insurance.
ultra
He was in insurance.
Insurance.
He was an insurance adjuster or something like that.
Oh my God.
I was like, I don't want to live in a world where George Lucas quit film school. We don't want to do that. No.
That would be a terrible world. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yes, it would.
I mean, the benefits are we wouldn't have Jar Jar Binks, right? And we wouldn't have any crystal skulls. So
if you want, I guess but I feel like you love Star Wars. You'll put up with one Jar Jar to have your Star Wars, you know?
I might. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yes.
It feels like that episode of Supernatural where the angel went back in time to stop the Celine Dion song from existing by saving the Titanic.
He unsank the Titanic.
Yeah.
He didn't. He just let it sail instead of.
I remember that.
Yeah, because he hated that song. Yeah.
I love that movie. I love that episode. That episode was freaking great.
Okay.
Uh-huh. That's what this reminds me of. You hate Jar Jar Binks so much, you're gonna stop him from ever existing.
Back and shoot George Lucas. Anyway, that's not what happened.
No.
I want to start with Rip. I want to start with Rip and him grabbing the time core and him having a piece of the Spear of Destiny.
Yeah, no big deal.
No big deal. But at first, when I saw that first scene where he grabs the spear, I thought he was using the spear like to rewrite his destiny, which is why we couldn't find him.
I thought he was using it as a crowbar to open up Gideon.
As soon as he took out this wooden, speaking of Indiana Jones, as soon as he took out this wooden like stick, I was like, that's part of the spear because it looks like it's a piece of shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, right? It's like the
it's just like you touch it, you get splinters.
Yeah.
You touch it, and you're full of.
Ow! Yeah. Just like the wooden cup being the
the Holy Grail.
The Holy Grail. Yeah. And I thought that before, we found out George Lucas was in this episode because I didn't know beforehand.
I didn't know it either until I saw him, and I was like, wait a minute, he looks like my God, it is.
Yeah, that was like one of those. I'm like, very, very first scene. I'm like, that director guy looks so familiar. And then they're like, he's the prop guy, and I'm like, he's
only
familiar.
The prop manager.
I was like, is that George Lucas?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, it was fantastic.
It was like amazing, and then all the references they do throughout the whole entire. I was just like.
Was I the only one that felt a little dirty watching this episode as like a DC property show talking about something that is now associated with Marvel? Like,
no.
It just felt weird to me.
I didn't care either way because I didn't You guys love this episode. I'm sitting there. I was like puking the whole time.
Because you hate Rip.
How come? Oh,
She
'cause of
hates Rip more than anything in the world.
Well,
I
this
think
isn't-
she likes Jar Jar Binks more than she likes Rip. I'm
But does she
telling
like
you right
Emma
now.
Swan more than she likes?
I do.
But it's not Rip, it's Philip.
That's true.
When he
Who's
came,
infinitely worse than Rip.
when he came around, I
This last day.
was it a storage bin or something? When he came around that storage bin and he was
Yeah.
Rip again, and I was like, "Oh my God, where is my gun?
I'm gonna
I don't
shoot
own a
myself.
gun. I don't own a gun. I was looking for one."
To shoot the TV or to shoot
Yes.
yourself? Shoot the
Yes.
TV, okay. Just had to
Yeah.
make sure.
I don't know what you guys hate on.
And you know, I think the only part that I thought was authentic was when Palmer and
Nate?
Steel Guy Nate were losing their memories.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
they-
the
well,
only
well,
authentic part to me.
it
And
wasn't
you
like
know,
they were losing their memories; they were gaining other ones. They were.
yeah, I
It
mean,
was
and
just really, yeah.
they're-
Oh crap, chicken!
No,
Oh.
they were losing abilities basically that they
well,
had.
because they hadn't gained them in the first place.
Yes.
Which, they would have like blank out sessions, and I was reading a few comments about it, and they were like, people are like, "Oh man, they're just getting dumb." Like, no, actually, it's kind of reminiscent of Alzheimer's.
Yeah,
So you guys are assholes. Stop it. I mean, you're dumb.
You're dumb. Well,
You're
I mean,
dumb.
you're not wrong.
if you think about it, I mean, those. As a kid, watching both of the series, I actually seriously thought about becoming an archaeologist.
Yes.
Because I watched Indiana Jones and I wanted to do that, but then as I got older, looked up at the schooling you'd have to go into, and you're not guaranteed to be out in the field. You're guaranteed your qualifications. You're guaranteed to teach other people archaeology. That's basically what you're guaranteed to do.
See, where I grew up near Drumheller, and if people Google that, that is a dinosaur dig-up site that they made into a museum. And the first time I went there was because of Jurassic Park, and I just wanted to live there. It was
Be a
amazing.
paleontologist.
Yes, it was
That's-
amazing.
I mean, and if those movies didn't exist, people wouldn't be inspired to do other things.
Yep.
So that's what I liked about it. It made it seem real because those movies did inspire a lot of people.
It is
Oh,
to
for
do a lot of things.
Yeah.
So.
And I honestly, and I think, and there was no way of sort of that this was on purpose, but I think that this coming so close to Carrie Fisher's death, it really reminds us why we love this shit
Yeah.
and how it's so powerful. I thought the whole thing with them in the trash compactor, which hilarious.
It was so cheesy.
As soon as he said he put it down the garbage chute, I'm like, trash compactor, and my mom just looks at me like, no.
I did that
and then when she said you're my only hope. But I was
exactly.
Yeah.
No, the one that really made me cringe was when she goes, "Find something to brace it," like the exact same way that Princess Leia did.
Yeah.
Oh, that line is the one that bothered me. All the other ones I was fine with, but I was like,
I would like to know how far in advance they wrote this and how much revision was written after the fact.
I don't.
Yeah.
They probably
After
didn't do too
Leia.
much revision. I don't think.
Yeah, no. I think it just it rings true no matter when it was written. So I think that
They just came on the heels
It
of that.
just-
Makes you
it just
all the feels.
exactly. It just happened to be, and
And to be honest, this was written before they went on break.
yeah.
Because we saw the prop guy and Rip in last episode. So this was written way before any problems with Carrie.
Yeah.
So
And I think honestly, my favorite thing about all of that is they're trying to get him to see that his dream really is directing, and when he says it, there's like this boom and this echo to his voice when he says, "I want to be a director." Like
It reminds me of Never
thing
Ending
that-
Story. when
Yeah,
the
the
kid
thing
yelled
that-
out. Yeah.
The thing
Yeah.
that fixes the timeline is like, I'm a director, and it's like God himself is speaking. It's like, that was so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, it reminded me of Neverending Story when he yelled out the Empress's new name and
Yeah.
everything got.
Yeah, the darkness just went poof.
The nothing.
Then nothing. The darkness fucking supernatural. Get the hell out of my head. You're not back yet. Go away.
Go away. No, but you could tell the generation between the two between Nate and Ray, because Ray, I would say, is probably pretty close to my age. So he grew up with Star Wars, and then Nate, being younger, grew up with Indiana Jones.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
Yeah, they're arguing over which is better. That was so funny.
Mm-hmm.
And then they just have a binge night of all of it.
Yeah.
All of them. Oh God.
Yeah, let's start with Howard the Duck.
Oh my God!
That sounds
You want to
cute.
talk about
They're
you
like,
want to talk about Disney properties, Howard
Right?
the Duck.
That's what I'm saying.
Which I had no idea George Lucas was involved. Did that.
Mm-hmm.
I think he kept in the DL man on that one.
Yeah, probably like the Star Wars Christmas special.
Yeah, right. I don't know what you're talking about.
That is a whole separate disaster. Have
I
you
know.
actually watched that?
I have.
No.
Yeah. It's
have.
a whole separate
It's-
disaster.
It's
It's like
something.
one of
5
those things.
minutes.
It's like I want to watch it, but then there's
No,
a part
you
of me
don't.
that's like, no, don't.
No, you
touch
don't.
it.
Hold on. I can fix this. If you don't want to watch it or can't get it, watch JonTron talk about it. It's hilarious.
Yeah. The only
Very-
thing that was worth watching out of the Star Wars Christmas special was the cartoon segments.
okay.
It had an animated thing with Boba Fett and stuff. It was kind of cool.
Mm.
I do.
Anyway,
I love when Nate and Ray confront him. They're like, "You stay in school. You."
and honestly, it was probably because they were like losing
Yeah.
memories rapidly, but they sounded drunk in that scene.
Totally did.
Like, stay in school.
I mean, and Nate just
Yeah,
sitting
where does
there in his
Spirit
chair, he
guy?
sounded so high and chill at some point. It's just
Yeah.
like, you know what?
He was so flustered because he wanted him, but he didn't know why, and he did at the same time, and it's just like
all he knew is he didn't want to become a yoga instructor.
Yeah, that was so funny.
it sounded like he was trying to convince himself at the same time he was trying to convince George, but he was confused and
Mhm.
Well,
Yeah.
I think that's what it was. They
Yeah.
were confused. They didn't know what was going on, and it's
That's why I said it was really it seemed like Alzheimer's to me because my grandfather went through it and a lot of that happened.
Yep.
Mhm.
He was living a different life even though he remembered his old life, and it was like he was so confused all the time, and then he was losing memories and he had other memories, and it was just, it totally reminded me this episode of that. Maybe that's why I
I
don't
can see
like it that much.
Yeah.
It just bad stuff.
Yeah. I can see that.
Although, on a different note, I would love to see Nate as a yoga instructor.
He kind of did.
Just
Yeah,
putting that out.
yoga pants
Does he
and-
have abs of steel?
That was a workout. That wasn't yoga.
He is Commander Steel. So.
I keep watering.
We have to talk about the Legion of Doom.
Do
But
we?
the Legion of Doom was really, I think, the best part of this episode.
I like the fact that he named it, and the only person that was calling him that was Ray.
Yeah. And no, get that out of there. Get it out. Because he even says he got it from an old Hanna-Barbera cartoon, and I'm like, ah,
Yep.
yes. I loved it. And Sarah's like, I'm not calling them that. I guarantee you, by the end of the season, she will call them the Legion of Doom, and she'll give Nate the death stare.
Yep. Well, I mean, Jack
Gonna
did
happen.
call him the Legion. He didn't finish it.
Mhm.
He called him the Legion
Yeah.
What do you mean?
when he
Ate it.
was referring to them.
Yeah.
He called
Oh.
them the Legion. He didn't call them Legion of Doom, but he was halfway there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I loved in the script his name was Max.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And her name was
Jack, Sandra?
Sandra. She was Sandy.
Sandra? Sandy?
Sandy. She's like, wait a minute. Sandy.
Yeah. So, now, okay. Did Rip, give himself new memories? Is that how, he
touched when he touched the thing, it threw him back in time to whenever, and it rewrote his brain. Yeah. It rewrote it.
That's such a weird, specific rewrite, though. How did that?
Well, no, it warped him as a nobody, right? Back in whatever 19. The memories, the stuff that he had is the remnants of his life that was left over. That he said, "Oh, this would be a good science fiction story," and he kind of wrote it down. That's basically how that came to be.
But he's in film school. So, he would have had to have been there for, 4 years in order to get to or 3 years in order to get to the part where he's filming his thesis film.
Yeah. I mean, he could have been thrown back, 20 years and lived. I mean, obviously not, because he's not aged 20 years, but, he could have been there for a while.
I mean, being part of that time thing he was part of, does he even age?
Yeah,
we don't know. We don't know the exact effects. We don't know what exactly. We just know it rewrites. It basically just rewrites your whole brain.
Last season, we saw Rip visit himself as a child. So yes, we know he ages at some point, but we don't know if after he joined the Time Master thing, if I'm gonna assume he ages though.
Yeah, he probably does.
But I was also curious now, knowing that Rip basically, kind of, not exactly, but pretty much did the same thing that Captain Cold did.
Yes.
Does that mean that there's a chance that Captain Cold is alive somewhere?
Well, I think the difference is the difference is that Rip just touched it. Rip just grabbed it. Snart was there when it exploded.
Yeah.
And it was much bigger than what's on the ship.
They did kind of try to explain the situation with Mick and Snart this episode with Stein. And the way that Stein assumes that where Snart is that he's part of the time.
He's like Mike TV and Willy Wonka. He's just in pieces.
Well, and he's probably not even floating between time. He's probably...
He just broke Nikki. It's over our head in a million pieces.
That's how I thought of it when he explained it. That was my thought.
Because I did
Willy Wonka.
Explains everything.
I just imagined it, and you start a
I just gotta tune into the right channel.
Yeah. That's all.
It's Snart
Which
vision.
actually, honestly, now that you say it like that, that might be true.
Yeah.
That may or may not be true. I don't think that it's impossible for Snart to come back.
No.
We all know the reason that he left is so he could go film Prison Break. We all know this.
I know. Well,
then why don't they need
Mick?
Mick?
Because
he's in it. He's not in it. I don't think he's in it as
No,
much.
he is in it, but probably not as much.
That's what I said.
I don't want to spoil for people who haven't watched Prison Break, but there is a huge something that they have to explain why Wentworth Miller is even on the show to begin with right now. So it seems like his filming is a little more in depth.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, I saw a preview for it the other day, and I was just like, "Oh, how's this going to affect our show?"
Yeah. So. But I don't think it's impossible for Snart to come back. I think it's... but it's definitely different circumstances than Rip. The core. Which, now I can't remember what his shutdown code for Gideon it was.
Oh god, I can't remember what he said.
It was like something really weird. Like, I wish I wrote it down.
That's one of my shutdown. Come on.
That's very funny.
Yeah.
That's my shutdown phrase.
Right. Well, he's like, how long is it going to take to fix? She was like, 15 years. Okay.
Get started and shut yourself down. Yeah. So what was I going to talk about? Oh! I loved watching Malcolm and Dark just walk around LA stabbing people. Like, I think that was awesome. They like killed some guys and took their motorcycles. It's like, why not? We're the Legion of
Give
Doom.
me your wallet.
They killed the guy that was going to invent the flathead engine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who's gonna invent what?
The flathead carburetor for the motorcycles.
Yeah. Which I thought was really funny. It's like, he was supposed to do some stuff. And it's like, oops. Guess he wasn't just a thug.
No.
But honestly, I've said a couple things were my favorite part of this episode, but I realized my real favorite part, watching Malcolm get his shit kicked in. And, Dark was fighting Sarah over there, and I'm like, no, cut back. I want to see Malcolm get his shit kicked in. Go back. Like, if you could have just a whole episode of Malcolm getting owned, like, it just felt so good. Like, suck it, Malcolm. Hate you.
Yeah.
But he serves this show so much better than Arrow at this point, I think.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And as an actor, John Barrowman, he plays very good and very, very wide range of characters, and he plays them all amazing.
He was on in Doctor Who and Torchwood, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yes,
he's Captain Jack.
Yeah.
Captain Jack.
Oh gosh, I just finished watching all of Torchwood again, and I miss him. So it was
Captain
good to
Jack. Mm-hmm. And then he does Broadway, he does musical theater, and he's amazing.
I'm just more excited for Eobard myself. Like
Eobard
fantastic.
is quite frightening.
Just
and
the
he shows
three
up,
of them,
like,
to be honest, the three of them together are fantastic.
Yeah.
Like, as
And
much
Eobard
as I was
shows up-
sick of Damien Dark last season on Arrow, he is fantastic on this show. In fact, all of them, I feel, work better in this show than they did on their respective shows. Like, the bit that we've seen of Eobard on The Flash is not a lot, so I can't judge him as much as the other two, you know?
You say that, but that's not true.
I'm the actor who plays
Eobard. I see. I thought you meant the character, because technically, that first Wells...
Right. Yeah. No, I feel like this actor and everything just works better on this show than he did on the other ones. Like, because the first episode of Flash this season, it's just like, I wasn't feeling it. I was excited to have Eobard back, and the repercussions of it all, and like, it's really interesting. And then seeing what happened now, and then he's part of Legends, and it's just like, I love this way more than anything else.
I think it's the show. I mean, and in this show, they can be a little more, say, evil, I guess, or every one of these shows has a different feeling to them.
Yeah, and
so they can, and then even we saw it with the crossover in like Arrow, they're more dark, and in this one they're more funny, and in Flash they're more silly, and you know what I mean. In every show they have a different feeling.
Yeah, and I think in this show, it works better when, Malcolm walks up and stabs a cop.
You have an actual villain. I mean, and even Phil, you're going to call him Phil. Even Phil said that.
Because he's not Rip. Yeah, he's Phil.
When he first met him, he was just like, this is a villain. These guys, where do you guys come from? Or, he's like trying to recruit them to be his villain. And when they showed that part of him doing his director, I'm like, oh God, please don't bring him back. Don't bring back Mr. Beardy McLonghaired.
Beardy McFuckface. No, that's the wrong show. Yeah. Great. I'm loving the Legion of Doom. And if we find out that Eobard has what he's been doing when he's off, he's got to be building them a secret base in the middle of a swamp. That's right.
Why?
Legion of Doom in the Super Friends.
Yeah.
It was in the middle of the swamp.
Mm-hmm. Wasn't like it looked like a dome.
Yeah, it was a skull.
Yeah, it was weird.
It was a skull. I love that shit so much. Anyway. Did I miss anything? Oh yeah, Stein is doing brain surgery.
What are you doing? Brain surgery.
And they just leave.
Yeah, it's just like, okay, whatever.
Well, I mean, he's doing it with Gideon's help, and I'm pretty sure she knows what she's doing, so.
Hopefully he's using Gideon's help, because he had a scalpel and shit in his hand. It didn't look like Gideon was doing much.
No. But I would like to know if there was on that chip, if there was anything on it they could use to know what the Time Lords were.
I don't think it's the last we've actually, like, I
forgot he was Kronos.
Yes.
Yeah.
Me too.
Me too.
My husband named us Druid that.
Nice.
I don't think, I know Stein kind of shoved off the chip for now because they were more or less focused on Mick and why he's hallucinating.
Yeah.
But I think that chip's going to come into play very soon.
I hope so. I mean, it'd be very interesting to see what was on that.
Yeah. But, like, this whole deal with Mick, taking one too many shots in the head are we going to go with that?
Well, we already know he's had brain damage that Gideon's been trying to repair.
Exactly. But, like...
She's been trying. Poor Gideon.
I forgot she said that.
What makes you think I haven't?
She repairs it a little bit at a time. As much as she can.
Is that how they're going to write him off the show?
No.
Wait, who off the show?
Mick.
They're not writing Mick off the show. They're already done filming Prison Break. It's done.
I'm not talking about Prison Break.
Yeah, he's not going anywhere.
Are you sure?
Yes. Wentworth Miller just re-signed back on with the DC shows. They're not going to separate the two of them.
Again. They're like a package deal.
Yeah, they really are at this point.
They really are. They're just you get one, you get the other.
And that's fantastic. It's like Ben Affleck and Matt Damon all over again.
Oh God. Can we not? I'm just surprised that Matt Damon wasn't in Batman. That's all. I don't know, Dale.
Surprise! Next movie, he's gonna be Robin.
Oh my God! No.
I'm just waiting for a new Jason Bourne with Ben Affleck.
Kevin Smith would do. That is so something Kevin Smith would do.
Yeah, but at least Kevin Smith would make it good.
It'd make it funny. It'd be boy and cocksucker all over again. Anyways.
Yeah, Kevin Smith would make it fantastic. That's why Stan Lee said his favorite cameo of all time is Mallrats.
Right? Love that movie.
You would expect Stan Lee to be like, yeah, one of my Marvel, film cameos. Nope, Mallrats.
Well, Mallrats was an awesome movie. So
yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just feel like something bad's gonna happen to Mick. And that's
I don't know.
Back in.
Hope not.
Mick's gonna be the way Snart comes back.
I think he's so funny. He's exploring his emotions, and I don't do those. And he doesn't know what to do with it. He's never explained. Maybe he'll have to come to terms with his past and figure out why he did it, or if he even really did it. Maybe he convinced himself he did it when he really didn't do something. Kind of thing.
I think out of every superhero that I've said needs therapy, Mick is up there on the top of that list.
Is he a superhero though?
But Stein is not a therapist. Same difference.
Yeah. I'm not a surgeon. Same difference.
I'm not a. He's told me.
I'm not a medical doctor. Is his words?
Gideon can help.
And then Sarah comes in and asks him to portray a therapist. Yeah, I could do that.
I've been doing that. Wait, I just imagined Gideon as Baymax.
Oh God.
Will this help your emotional state?
Great.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how do you rate your pain?
I still want the story behind how Gideon came to be Gideon from The Flash. Like,
yeah. I unfortunately think that's not a story that they can tell on Legends yet.
It'll have to be told, I think, through a crossover of some sort.
Yeah, I think so too.
Definitely.
One little thing that I loved was the Spear of Destiny has many names. One of them is the Holy Lance that Sarah insists on calling it. I like the Holy Lance better. I can't imagine why. Ms. Lance.
Could not imagine.
Could not imagine.
I noticed her hair's getting better and not looking so greasy, but
yeah.
That's why I watched that. I'm like, your hair looks better.
Well, I mean, she has to look presentable. She's captain now. She's not just lackey.
Which are they gonna have two captains if Rip comes back?
No, Sarah's gonna stay in charge.
Yeah,
I don't think he's going to. I don't think he's gonna try to take it back.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna want to.
He's gonna be like, look, guys, I'm done.
Yeah, but she keeps calling him captain.
Send me back to my time.
Gideon.
Yeah, Gideon. Stop calling me that. Yeah.
They did play the Phil really good.
Yeah. Can I just say the Vandal Savage actor?
I know, that's what I was talking about. He was more of a thespian than a movie.
That wig was terrible.
It was awful.
And the beard mustache, they were horrible.
So funny.
I mean,
he's like, I can't get him done.
And the Rip actor was just delivering so bad. It's just funny.
I need to recast.
He looked like Star-Lord.
Oh yeah, a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit.
Yeah, but the Vandal Savage, I'm like, just imagine him gonna break out and Macbeth all of a sudden. He was just,
probably.
But yeah, I know he was like more of that.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, oh, that's horrible. Can we not bring him back, please?
I mean,
not even in a bad reproduction.
There was one thing I was expecting to say this episode before I watched the episode, and that was gonna be, you know what, guys, I miss Rip, but you know that actually didn't happen. So
I miss Rip, but okay.
Well, we didn't get Rip back yet, so
yeah, I definitely don't miss him.
We got Phil though, and Phil is actually being tortured right now. Poor Phil.
Poor Phil. But when I was like, I had a freak out when Damien Dark stole Vixen's necklace. Like,
yeah,
I thought that was gonna last. I thought that was gonna last a lot longer than it did.
Damien Dark didn't steal it. It was
Malcolm.
Malcolm. Okay, yeah. Yeah.
I thought he was gonna break it. I was like, no.
He stuck it in his pocket. So now she doesn't have her necklace.
I thought he was gonna use it. You know.
Oh.
I don't think he can.
Yeah, it's a bloodline thing.
Is it?
It might be.
I think so.
Because it's only passed through her female lineage.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And I'm never going to be able to listen to people with a glucose allergy without thinking of it as a George Lucas allergy.
George Lucas. I'm allergic to George Lucas.
Yeah.
Could you not watch Star Wars in my
I have a glucose allergy.
Who would say that?
Glucose.
Glucose.
Yeah, I know. Who would say that?
Who would say that?
I'm allergic to episodes 1, 2, and 3.
Don't you want me to
my
pull
bounty hunters over there? I don't have my stuff.
I'm just lucky mine is like right on my desk.
I got this guy.
Oh, you got this. I love that.
He's so big.
He's adorable. And then I got my Han Solo pop. The Loot Crate exclusive.
Mine's
I have Boba
here.
Fett. I have Boba Fett up here. And I have
Boba. You're also wearing Boba.
Yes, I am, and I am wearing a Star Wars t-shirt.
She's all
the
decked
circle
out.
is complete.
I am clean. I actually have all Star Wars Pez dispensers too.
Did you plan that for this episode?
Yes.
Okay.
Not to mention, I can't see it, but I do have a Boba Fett tattoo on my back.
Mm.
That's neither here nor there. I can never take that one off. Sorry.
Not easily, anyway.
Glucose allergy.
Glucose allergy. Anyway, next episode is called The Legion of Doom. The legends are determined to find and rescue Rip, but first must focus on locating the Spear of Destiny. Stein thinks he has the perfect person to help, but knows involving her will be risky. Meanwhile, Malcolm Merlin, it's his wife. I think it's his wife.
Who, Malcolm's wife?
No.
Stein's
wife. Meanwhile, Malcolm Merlin and Damien Dark realize that Thawne is pitting them against each other. Yeah. That was the end of the sentence.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I keep reading. I in my head, I've been calling him Eobard.
Mm-hmm.
Reading it as Thawne is throwing me off because there's a character in Star Wars Rebels that is called Thrawn. So it's getting me very confused.
Yeah. I mean, it's not just Rebels. He's been a part of Star Wars for a very long time.
Oh, no, I know, but he's currently...
He's canon now.
That's why he's in my brain.
He's canon now.
I've been watching Rebels.
It's Stein's daughter, Lee's saying in chat.
Stein's daughter. Okay, I knew it was... Yeah, okay.
Gotcha.
Oh, right, because he's still trying to keep her secret from them.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot about that subplot.
Sarah knows.
Sarah knows.
Yeah.
Does she?
Yeah. She yelled at him for it.
Yeah, because,
Oh, that's right.
She got pissed off. She's like, I can't change the past to change the future, and you can.
I can't bring my sister back, which we're going to find out. We're going to find out on our podcast Monday what the hell's going on with her sister. So.
Okay.
It's not her sister.
Okay, hold on.
It's an LMD.
Do not watch the trailer for Arrow episode. It actually spoils it.
Okay.
Yeah, it did.
So
I saw it.
I
got that. I got that.
I'll watch that shit anyway, so I'm good.
Me and my dad turned to each other. We were literally like, they just spoiled it for us.
Spoilers!
Whoever edited that trailer, fuck you.
Wow.
I'm done.
Okay, then.
Rachel, where can the people find you?
They can find me at Twitter at Savannah17. Yeah, cats, Star Wars, geeky girl. Meow. Meow.
Nikki, where can the people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at LadyVenom24, LadyYVENOM24.
Dom, where can they find you?
Posting all about my glucose allergy at Phenomedom, PHENOMEDOM.
Do.
You probably won't, just so you know.
You can find me at Cleomono on Twitter, Twitch, and Pinterest. And you can find all of us at ASOTV Podcast on Facebook, Twitter, Gmail, Google+,
MySpace.
and right here on YouTube. Follow us for some more podcasts from some of your favorite TV shows, video games, and movies. Until next time. Bye-bye.
Clio, you work in a supermarket, right?
Yes.
Where can I find the glucose-free products?
Aisle 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Clean up in aisle 3.
We got a glucose spill in aisle 3.
Glucose.